Is that Mr.
Yes, how are you?
How are you? How are you?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you, sir.
Hear me? Okay, my mic has problem too, so some problems on Monday. Okay, so it is January 14, and this is a continuation meeting from the January 10, the unfinished that we're going to complete the unfinished part. My name is Cary Chen. I'm the president of RHCCC, Roland Community Coordinating Council, and I'm going to facilitate the meeting tonight. Flag salute. Flag salute. So I'm going to lead the flag salute. Let me get the flag. Get the flag. Okay, I have a flag here. Very cool. Raise right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, before the presentation, and there's and number one is the general announcement. On Tuesday, the executive meeting, and we have a small reorganization of the Roland Hight Community Coordinating Council. Since our president President Jackman resigned for her personal reason, and the board decided to have me resume the duty. So I will be the one to facilitate the meeting and to be resuming the Mrs. Jackman's duty. And let me see, there are. And another thing, because the redistribution, we are going to have a new Senate district, Senate District 32. Is Kyle here? Okay, Kyle is the Senate District 32 representative, and he maybe will join us later. So that's okay. If he joins us later, and we'll find some time to introduce him to the group. Okay, then let's move to the next announcement. And we had every year we have annual holiday decoration, lights decoration competition in Roland Heights. And this year we have 11 participants, and they're all very, very significant and all very good. So it's very hard for us to choose the first, and second, and third. So, but we have to choose 3 of them. And this year, let me announce the winners of the competition winners, Christmas light competition. The third place. The theme is Patriot, Flag, and Cross. The address is 8076 Colima Street, Roland Heights. Congratulations, and thank you for participating in the competition. The second place goes provide average roller Heights. The theme is Dancing Pig and the Pink Flamingos. Congratulations. The first place goes to the address at 20094 Emerald Meadow Drive, Walnut, California. The address Walnut, but that is in part of unincorporated Roland Heights. So that first place, the theme is Boathouse, and three of us visited the site, and I took the pictures and give the average the score, and we got the three winners. Congratulations and thank you for all 11 participants for this year, and we hopefully will do it next year again. Thank you very much, and we have a certificate and the check for the three winners, and I will deliver to your home myself, and sometime next week. And
Cary,
thank
can you mention the first address, and was it Phil Port who won on Galatina?
The Galatina, the address 18076 Galatina. That's the third place.
Third place, okay.
Okay, 18076, let me check.
It is, Terry, that is Mr. Port, that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Okay. So I will deliver the certificate and the check to all three winners. Thank you. Okay. Let's move to the tonight's presentation, community report, and tonight's speakers is Curt Hagman. Mr. Hagman is currently serves as a supervisor at San Bernardino County, but he is here today as representing the developer who's doing the developing project, Colima Villa project. Mr. Hagman, and it's all yours now, and I will have you share screen and for a presentation for Colima Villa project.
Thank you, Mr. President. And first of all, good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking your Friday out to go over this project. And I wanted to give you a little bit of background before we get into the details of the project. You know, why is the county supervisor is working on development project? The reality is that I was friends with, I'm still currently friends with the Tsai family who owns the old Colima Nursery. We all know where that property is way back when. And I'm thinking it's got to been 8 or 9 years now, back when I was your representative in the state assembly. They came to me and said they wanted to do something nice for that area and build a project, something that will allow, you know, future generations to be very proud of. And so it's like, okay, well, I could try to help you out, have a little experience in government from my council days and state assembly days, and it's not easy for those who don't do a lot of development to navigate through government sometimes. So they approached me, and I contacted 3 supervisors ago to supervise that area, and we started looking at the property. And the reason why it's been taking a very long time to develop, because that property was very complicated. And started off, I'm saying complicated because it had a number of outdated easements on the property. So one of it was, they had a flood easement. For those of you who are familiar with the area, you know now you have a drainage channel, you have all those things in the back of the hill to collect the water. Back in the days they didn't have it, they had that area being a flood easement. And there's a tunnel underneath that property. And there's a park easement laid over it as well. So the first couple of years, dealing with all the layers of bureaucracy in the county government to basically take off the encumbrances on the property. Mr. Tsai wanted to build a commercial project at that time, a very high-end office building. And so we first approached the community council probably about 8-9 years ago and presented a vision of a office building, which was a different zoning than it was originally done. Long story short, we went through the process, we pitched it, and the community council approved that, and we went to the board of supervisors, they approved it. So currently it's zoned, you can build an office building there. Well, after he went through all that, he changed his mind and said, well, my ego said I wanted to build an office building, but the reality is the market really needs housing. So we came back and we basically went through the process to change it to a housing. Now, to give you an example, it's already zoned R3. You can put legally 34 or 35 units on there. The project being proposed is 17. First floor being a garage, 2 floors on top of that. 17 units roughly between 1,500 square feet to 1,900 square feet, 3 and 4 bedroom units. And Leo is going to be on board to bring you all the details on his PowerPoint presentation. But during that process, we came back to the Hight High School Council a while back. I personally presented this, I believe it was in 2018, and roughly, the exact same project, but it was approved. We got a letter from Ted Evikamp, the president at that time, submitted it to LA County, and if you remember during that time period is when LA County started doing the affordable housing units and started changing the rules on residential development. So we had to take a step back, and during that time period, Mr. Syed kind of moved off out of the area, and the kids took on the project, and they thought, well, maybe if you know the property, there's a cell phone tower, maybe if we move the cell phone tower, we could do something different. So we took another year to explore the options of moving the cell phone tower. Long story short, they decided not to move the cell phone tower, go back to the original plan. The plan's been submitted with LA County at this point. And the planning director, one of the planning officers, asked for the minutes and the announcement that this project was presented to you, the Rolling Heights Community Council. I know I presented it because I presented it. I don't remember what date and that sort of thing. And we have a letter from the previous president, but they're asking for that records, and no one seems to have those records. So when I was inquiring with your last president and going through this process, she suggested that it may be a good thing to bring back to the community council just to review what the project's going to be at this point, and to get the new board's concurrence with the vision. And so we'll be able to put that up. And Leo, I hope you're on there. I hope you figured out how to share. And Cary, you don't need to share with me because I don't have the project. I'm hoping you can share with Leo at this point. Okay. And we can go through some details.
I share you. Okay, let me change it to Leo.
Thank you.
Do you have the file? It would be easier to.
Do I have the file? No, I don't. I have your printouts. I'm old school, I got printouts, but I'll keep doing a little bit of background. So during this time period of working with Janice Hahn's office, Jamie, and I understand that hopefully Martin Reyes is on board from Hilda Solis' office, that we were working with them to make sure that we had everything right and to make sure they had a couple of affordable units they wanted on this 17-unit project. And so we worked on that, and then obviously redistricting happened. So I have reached out to the new supervisor, Hilda. We know each other as well because we're in the same worlds, and hopefully they'll be contacting back, and we'll be transferring that staff work from Janice Hahn's office, from Jamie Wilson to one of the staff reps over at Hilda Solis' office as well. Go ahead, Teri.
One question. I remember when they presented it when it was going to be medical offices, but I don't remember it ever being presented to the community as a whole that it was going to be changed to housing. So was this something done exclusively by the RHCCC board? Because to my knowledge, it was not presented to the community at all.
And to be perfectly honest, I don't remember the details. I do remember bringing the drawings and going to that community center, which I used to go to a lot back when I was an assembly member, so I don't know the specifics. I do have the day of the letter, and I think Leo could share the letter that we got from Ted. I don't remember how many people. Sometimes there was a lot, sometimes not as many at the meetings I went to. And right now it's sitting as an office building, and but I know that the need for housing is very, very dear, and obviously the developer has to comply with all the new codes and traffic mitigations and all the rest they have to do that any project they do. But we wanted to bring it back to get your input on it. But I don't remember, Terry, when that was. I do remember having the big charts that we put up on the skyboard. And do you remember the first time that we did that?
Office building and going to be a medical complex. But again, I never remember any presentation on housing.
Okay, this is Roy. Can I say something?
Hey, Roy.
Hey,
Long time.
How you doing? Hey, I hate to burst your bubble, but you can ask the County Board of Supervisors, which I've been greeting them every Tuesday for the last several months, that the plans were and that the county would buy this property and convert it to a transient homeless campsite, which would fill a great need within our society and community at the time. So you might have little arm wrestling situation going on with that, and it's quote affordable housing to fit the needs. So good luck.
Well, we'll have to wrestle some arms because I don't think anybody wants a transient homeless place at this point. But we do need to get the project going. We don't want to leave a vacant property because we do have homeless, we do have life on there, and it really degrades Rolling Heights at this point. Leo, did you get the project up so we can show it?
Yes. Because I'm new for this, go to meet. How I have a file open. How to share? How to share screen?
There's a button on the screen, and it's a share. Hold on, let me help you.
While we're waiting, one more little tidbit there for Mr. Hagman. Are you aware that I call it the horseless equestrian subway, has been permanently blocked off on both ends?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great.
Thankfully, actually. There was a lot of people living underneath there for a while.
I worked on that for over 25 years to get it shut off, and finally John Design took care of that. So we're all grateful.
Yeah. Good job, Roy.
Leo, do you see?
Don't want 50 tiny homes in that property, that's for sure.
I got that the screen share but I don't know how to the share the screen.
You click that share, because you are the presenter right now. I give you the privilege.
At the very bottom there's 4 dots, and there's a green one that says screen. I'm assuming that's the one.
Yeah. And I open the reference and click the file. Can you see it?
No.
Can I send a file to someone so you can share from the host you share?
You say, Curt, can you receive the file? I can't.
Can me?
On the desktop computer. We would get it.
I'm on an iPad as well, so. Leo, this is your world. You gotta step up and put those plans on. I can show printouts.
No. Can someone, can I have a host the email? I can send it over right away in 2 minutes.
I can send it to me. Oh, I see how I can share it.
You gotta let the modern technology. You can meet like this, but
Okay, they all send it to Cary Chen, Cary.
C-A-R-Y?
Yes, C Charlie, A Adam, R Richard, Y Yellow, C Charlie, H Helen, E Edward, N Nancy, and number 4, and E Edward, D David, U utility at yahoo.com.
Okay, repeat again, sorry, I lost you.
Cary Chen 4edu at yahoo.com.
Cary Chen for EDU.
4edu, E Edward, edu at education at yahoo.com. So let me see if I can receive that. I can share it.
Mr. Hagman, while we're waiting, a question for you, if that's okay.
Yes.
On that, it's actually a part of the trail that went under the horse's question
Yeah.
subway. I'm assuming you take their measures, or the right-of-way is going to be such that it can be blocked off, and also there's a homeless camp problem back there. Because of the way in which it's structured to go underground and so forth, and I'm assuming that you've addressed all these issues.
The underground portion still remains the county of the county of Los Angeles recreational district. The surface area is the Mr. Sy, the owner's property. We actually advocated for that as well, to block off the tunnel. We want to make sure that people are not on that property, so they keep changing the locks and they keep breaking into it and that sort of thing. So we're hoping that development will scatter some of the people who are there as it starts getting developed.
Yeah. Also somebody to police that trail area back there, so because otherwise you're going to have people camping behind your unit there. Okay, thank you.
I already sent out the file.
Okay, let me retrieve it.
I see that Martin Reyes is on board from Hilda's office. I left my phone number with Hilda, or with the main office in sorry, it's been a long week, in Los Angeles at your main office. So give me a call if you get a chance. We could go over all this stuff.
Sure. Hi, Curt. This is Martin from Supervisor Solis' office. Yeah, it would be great to connect on this. I'm not familiar with the project, so it would be great to meet and.
I think you need to know that. And if you want to try to get the information for Jamie, he worked with me for almost 2 years on this project, and it's been a little frustrating process because the records aren't around and things like that. But love to hook up and show this. And at the time, they brokered the deal for the affordable 2 units out of the 17 on this to meet your requirements. So obviously there's lots of more hurdles to go through, but we definitely want to get the blessing of the council, and I know they want to get something to go on. Hey, good job, Cary.
We'll definitely connect with Jamie and get some of the history on it. Thanks for.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I share the screen. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead, please.
Well, you can kind of scroll through it. The first page has all the data on it. Roughly, it's a R3. That's on it. There you go. It has the data on it. It's R3 zone. Its density will allow 34.9 units. The developer's proposing 17 units, 27,000 square feet, roughly 22% lot coverage, well within the boundaries of all the criteria. 39 parking spaces. Average unit from 1,544 square feet to 1,961. 3 and 4 bedrooms and three and 3 baths on those. So that's what you can't read it very well, I'm sorry, but that's what that has. And I think, Cary, you have this PowerPoint now, and if I would hopefully say if you could ever email it out to your group so they have this and they can look at it and review it a little bit later, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, I will. Okay, so they can make it a public information for everyone.
Yes. And I don't know how to go to the next slide here. Some more of it. So the bottom line is we came back to you, like I said, we had original letter from, we actually had 2 letters on this property so far, one for the commercial, one for the residential. Trying to make sure that it's been long enough since 2018 that we figured we'd try to come back to the community council and kind of give you an update. I'm sure it's frustrating for the neighbors in there to know that this has not been doing anything with for this long. So this is what we're coming back to go here. Next slide, please. Kind of shows you the location where it's at. I think everyone's familiar with the piece that's off of Colima across the street. It's not a very good picture of it, but if you know where McDonald's is, it's kind of across the street from there. Next slide is the general layout of the 17 units. There are 2 entrances and exits. They're built around the current cell phone tower there with the park area for the residents on the right side, and the little tip. It comes with the extra parking spaces for the parking on the lower level, and then the 2 stories on top. And the next few slides, you can just go through your convenience, Cary, to see the different drawings of them. Go ahead and click on the next one. These are very small, so I don't think, at least I can't read them on my screen, but they're basic floor plans for the next 2 or 3 slides of the units, the 17 units on there. Go ahead, Cary. Shows the buildable area. So we all know that stretch in Colima. It's going to be a right turn in, a right turn out. They did the traffic studies on this. You do not want to put a left-hand turn lane coming from east to west because then the slow down traffic is not enough room in the turnout pocket. And so they have the traffic surveys, which needs to be updated, which they will update, and they have to with the current standards. We have a current traffic update. So just to let you know that part will be handled. Go on the next one, please. Let's get down to because you can't read these, at least I can't read them, but it shows the parking on the bottom level and the upper levels, the living spaces. But maybe the next one kind of gives you the side view to kind of show you what it looks like. Thank you. So it kind of shows the front and back views and the side views of each one of the units.
Curt, these are 3-story, right? This is Henry.
Yes, correct. Yes.
What's the maximum height right now? I can't see it on the drawing.
I can't read either.
Maximum height is 34 feet 5 inch.
Thanks, Henry.
Okay. So still under 35 feet maximum.
Correct.
Kurt?
Yeah. Yes.
That 34 feet 5 inches, where does that bring the roof line as far as the homes that back onto that?
It's still below the ones behind it because it's a big slant hill behind it. So
it's below that hill
Yeah.
line? Okay, then the second question would be, have they been approached because they'll now have a view overlooking this development? Has anybody gotten their input?
I think we sent notices. That'll be part of the project when the county sends out their notices as well when it goes up to the board.
Because they're adjacent to this.
Yes, absolutely. And there's residential on the west side of this as well. Okay, Cary, just go through these because I don't know if you guys can read them by. It's kind of tiny. I got the bigger printouts of my thing, but I'm hoping that he gets these all to you as well. It's basically 17 nice townhomes or condos.
So basically, the first floor is a garage, second floor is the living space, and the third floor will be the bedroom, right?
Right.
Correct. And they're either 3 or 4 bedrooms with 3 baths. And with a portable eating spot. These are the second, they're basically different layouts of each building complex going down. And more side views. Next slide. With the architecture, and so it's not all one big flat building, there's some, design elements to it. Those are the typical layouts of the floors. And if you go to the last one, it has a little bit of the greenery and the park space too. But
And this is a landscape plan, right?
yeah, this landscape plan with the trees and
question regarding the site plan. So on the west side of the entrance,
Egress.
I think there's only one vehicle could be stopping there to get off the Colima Road. So if you have more vehicles
egress
lining up to try to get in, let's say during afternoon hours, Colima eastbound traffic is extremely congested from around 3:30 to about 6:30 probably. And that's the most congested time. So if we have a vehicle, more than one vehicle waiting to get in, because it looks like this is the gated community, and what do? We have vehicle protruding onto the Colima Road and holding up part of the traffic.
yeah, Leo, what's the stack right there before the gate?
Yes, we have between the Colima entrance and the gate, we have a 2-car queue space, and besides that, you can see the also there's the plenty of the driveway and the area and also for the waiting area. So that's we believe, that's we can provide some more queue space. And we can work with the traffic engineer to provide more queue space, and if necessary, we can also remove the gate to prevent the
Stacking. And there's a secondary entrance as well that has more queue space toward the east side.
How much landscaping is there in the front? Between Colima and the front of this. One thing on the Community Standards Committee that for the commercial establishments is we're trying to expand the landscaping areas in the front of the commercial buildings to make it more aesthetically pleasing. And I did notice it looks like there's a variance to cut back on what our current standards are.
Yes.
I don't
know. The minimum 15 feet the setback along the Colima Road, and also because this the unique the large shape. This you can see the building actually not exactly perpendicular to the Colima Road. So we have a lot of the zigzag area for this landscape. That help a lot to the mitigate this massing the impact to the Colima Road.
So it's a minimum of 15 feet?
Yes, minimum 15 feet. Some area like the between buildings, they are more than 15 feet.
Okay, this is where I'd like to ask a question on the ingress-egress situation. It seems that it would be incumbent upon you to put it, and I don't know the proper term, an inset, so the person's coming out and going in have a minimal method of getting out of the way of traffic and not causing a hazard there. That's one item. Number two item, have the street lighting been addressed? Because it is like dark city there all night.
Leo, that's all you. I do know that the county staff's not going to approve something that doesn't fit the traffic study, which will be updated for this project again under current standards. But I don't know anything about the lighting. Leo, do you know about that?
The lighting, you mean a traffic light or the...
No, please. It's the street lighting around there. I went through this several years ago, and it is like totally dark, okay? Especially on that area. So somebody needs to look at that and put, I'm going to say 3 street lights out there to light that up, and especially make it safe at nighttime for cars going in and out of that facility.
Yes, the street light will be required with the street improvement. Yeah, that's along with this public work review.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for Leo.
Yeah.
For the traffic aid, the exits of this the exit should be right turn only. Am I right? Because there's no way for left turn.
Yeah.
For the
right turn sign, right turn only sign for both the entrance.
Right. So right turn only. Because there's no way to make left turn. There's the divider there. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no way to make left turn. So it has to be right turn.
Because there's also the island in between.
Right. There's island. There's island there. So there's no way for make left turn.
No.
What I'm worried about is for the traffic intent to make a left turn, so it's going to be create a lot of U-turn traffic on the Larkvane and the Colima. How going to make a left turn? They have to make a U-turn on Larkvane and Colima. So then U-turn traffic is going to be very you're going to heavy load for U-turn traffic. So how are you going to solve that problem?
I think that'll be addressed in the traffic.
Or go further to make a U-turn.
I think that's going to be addressed in the traffic study that the county will have to go through and address to see what improvements and mitigation the developer has to do on Colima to accomplish these 39 vehicles, the residential area. So that's going to have to be something they addressed in the traffic study and see what flow and stuff. It's not going to be as heavy and intense as already approved as the commercial. This commercial, you have people going in and out all day long, but they will address that in the traffic study.
Right. The traffic report that you provided us, that was made on 2014.
Yes, that was for the commercial project, I believe.
Yeah, there's no updated the traffic report about it.
That's a requirement for the developer and for them to get done before it's fully submitted to the county for approval.
Right. So could you make a note and give us the answer? What would be the solution for the left turn traffic?
Sure. Certainly. When the traffic study comes back, and my advice to any developer out there is you'll get the blessing of the project before you spend tens of thousands of dollars on other reports and stuff, that type of thing. So I think this is important to bring it back to the community council to at least review this before they went off and started spending more money on the traffic. But they have to meet the standards and they have to do the mitigation that's required by the county for this project.
Yeah, thank you.
I have one question, Cary. On the plans, it says that there's 2 parking spots per unit. So that's assuming a husband and wife both drive. If they have a child that drives, that would need, he would need, or she would need an additional parking spot. But for visitors, there's only a quarter spot per 4 units. So there's only 1 extra parking spot for every 4 units for visitors. That area, you know, chances are you're going to need more than that, even though the code might not require it. And I don't know where the overflow would park, because there's no parking on Colima. Across the street you have McDonald's and commercial buildings and parking lots. So if there's a need for an additional parking spot because somebody's having a party or something, where would that overflow parking be?
To answer your question, they could work out a parking deal with the church over on Larkvane. It's a Catholic church, I've forgotten, and they have quite a bit of parking there.
Church parking arrangement has to be approved by the county planning.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think that needs to be addressed, Leo. On the even though the standards are there, there's no immediately neighborhood parking. You know, it's definitely going to be tight on those projects. The area between the buildings is large enough that you can park perpendicular to your driveway. So if you have that third parking for a temporary time for a guest, if you could, but there is only the 5 extra parking spaces, and the area to the east, as you can see, even though it's not designated parking, there's a lot of space. I mean, to the west side, that big long strip up and down the side, which is supposed to be clear for the cell phone tower, but I was feeling that people would be parking there in the off hours.
They could also work out a deal with Pheasant Ridge for access parking. They have dedicated there. They could try that.
Don't the current CSDs only allow 2 stories high, and this is 3?
Yes. So that's a variance we like to request. You know, that's from the Roland Hight Community Council coordinated council. Yes.
And if you remember, Terry, they have the 3-story in the commercial office building as well, because of the unique location of this property with the homes a much higher elevation behind it.
And if I could throw something in, there's a 3-story residence over on Jellick, and I was told by the planning people and so forth that as long as they don't exceed the maximum height limit, they can do 3 stories, no problem.
Yeah, it's a variance that we go through the process, and they look at each individual project on its own to see the effect of its neighbors and stuff like that. If you're familiar with the property, that house behind it is much higher than that area, so it doesn't affect your view.
You know, the previous project of the medical office building has underground parking, you know. So
it was partial. It was partial. Yeah, it went through like 4 feet or so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit less of a concern in terms of parking. But in this case, everything is on grade, and parking becomes really tenuous. I know, you know, the cost of the project may be affected if we have underground parking. But actually, underground parking may solve all of the questions that David has.
The reality, the way the project would cost, you would never get the project built if you required underground parking. It's just going to be too costly for the market for these units.
Also, the minimum setback along Colima, I think you have to be 20 feet, but you said this project is 15 feet.
Correct. That's another variance we like to request, along with this the support from the RHCCC.
I think the reason why we're doing this is to obviously get the little bit of density, but it's not a perpendicular to Colima. So there's a lot of offshoots. So even though some of the buildings pushing within the 15 feet, the majority of it is back below the 20-foot standards.
I think page 3, Cary. Page 3 is basically stating that plan amendment that we'll probably be looking at is listed as 1, 2, 3. And if you read the text, it's basically all listed as something that would have to be amended if the project is to go through the Department of Regional Planning. Maximum height 2 stories. Number 2 is the setback. A new structure, 20 feet is going to be changed to 15. And number 3, additionally, the first 10 feet of setback will be landscaped. But number 3 is something that we already require in ICSD since 1980, 82. Is that correct, Leo?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, thank you for your comment.
Yeah, it's similar to the 2018 letter. So, Mr. President, what's your pleasure here as far as, I know it's been tough to view this on the screen. Is this something that you would like to have the members have a chance to look at a little closer? Because it's not a unique, I mean, it's a pretty unique piece of property. It's a triangle, so it's hard to build things perpendicular to the street when it's not that ability to do it. So if you look at the setbacks, for example, it's going to be corners of the building that pursued under the 20 feet, but the majority of the building, 98% of it will be back below the 20 feet line, and obviously landscaping stuff. But it's I think Leo did a pretty good job of trying to balance those things based on the previous approved project as well.
Do they have a price goal objective on these units?
Honestly, I don't know, David. They haven't shared that with me. The market, I mean, labor and materials are going up so much. The demand for housing, I know what our properties are going up in my county as well. The 3 and 4 bedroom units are probably going to be a higher end product, with the exception of the requirement of the units that are required by LA County. I think it's 2 units to be, I don't think it's low end affordable housing, but medium end affordable housing for that. So they'll be offset by the other units.
Leo, what is the elevation behind these condos, behind these townhomes, and the hill elevation?
Hill elevation.
My question is compare the condo to the building height.
Are you talking about the south side of the top of
south side. I mean the hill behind the project.
Yeah, that's way higher, probably 60 feet or more higher than this property. Yeah.
So the building won't block the view.
No,
No.
with the three-story residential, actually the overall height is lower than the original proposed commercial building. Original commercial office building is 40 feet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
David has a question.
Yes, I want to know how far along is this project and what's the timeline for this project?
That's a great question. And obviously, after this approval, the additional traffic studies need to go through. I know what the timeline would be in my county. It's a little bit longer and extended because of the question of COVID is slowing everything down. And but their goal is to get this approved, to get it back to the board as soon as the studies are in. And planning, they're not super quick, but they get the additional traffic studies and the plans in, and hope to get this out before the end of the year. Start getting it built.
So it depends on how number one, the pandemic, right? And then also how fast the county can approve this.
Yeah, exactly. And things are not normal right now in any of our counties as far as processing. There's not a lot more to add. The blueprints and everything else is done. The additional updated traffic studies and stuff, then it'll go to both once the county staff approves it, goes to planning commission. Once the planning commission goes, it goes to the full board, and whatever that process time will be. And I don't know, Martin's still on. I don't know what the process time is in LA County. I can speak more for my county.
Sure, I am on, and we actually have several of our colleagues on here too. I know we have some staff from regional planning here. I think they would be the best ones to give an estimate. Is anyone from regional planning on that can comment on this?
Good evening. My name is Marie Palkovich. I'm the assignment planner.
You're on it. I've been trying to get a hold of you. It's so good to hear from you.
I am here, and I'm glad you asked that question. This project is closed because a plan amendment is requested. The plan amendment initiation needs to go to the Regional Planning Commission first, and it's not at that meeting the commission would not take action on the project, so it wouldn't approve or deny the project. It would just facilitate the request for a plan amendment. That requires a 30-day notification, so everyone living within 500 feet of the project site would receive a hearing notice for that public meeting. And then we, as Mr. Hagman mentioned, the environmental analysis needs to be wrapped up. So it was circulated internally to county departments, comments were provided. So the analysis needs to be revised, adjusted to address those comments, and then that would need to recirculate to the county departments again. That's a 30-day period. After that circulation concludes, it would then be circulated to state agencies for another 30 days, and then after that clears, then the project could be scheduled before the Regional Planning Commission, and as you know, that involves a 30-day notification period. And then after the Regional Planning Commission, there's another hearing before the board. So another 30-day notification period for that.
So that's 5 30-day periods if everything goes very, very well. But, obviously there's other updated reports and work the developer needs to do for the county. So optimistically by the end of the year.
So that means we are looking at the next 12 to 18 months. Is that correct?
I hope in the next 12 months. I've been looking at this plans with the developer and the family for a couple generations now for the last 7 years. So I'll be very thankful if it gets done in 12 months.
As I know, the final map needs to be recorded to start on the building, so probably that will take another 6 months. So we are looking at least 18 months from now, if everything goes super perfect well.
So, okay, if everything goes smoothly, so it's about 12 to 18 months. I think that's great. I mean, it's a great timeline. 12 to 18 months is normal. Because plus we have the pandemic right now, so.
Marie's gonna make it a priority for us, right, Marie?
Of course.
LA County does a great job of this stuff, but there's a lot of complexities that are forced upon the county from the state, a lot of new rules every year, and every time it seems like we get caught up, there's a couple new things thrown at us, so we have to adjust as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the project's completion. I think it's a great project.
Thank you, David.
Curt, any other slides you want to show, or have you?
No other slides. I would say I appreciate the opportunity to present for the first time to Supervisor Hilda Solis's office and let them look at it a little bit for the first time. This is your new district, and we wanted to have the ability for you to absorb it as well. Housing is a critical need throughout the state right now, as you know, and to have quality investment into the areas that have the homes is important for us as well. So I really appreciate the opportunity to present on this project to the Rolling Heights Community Council and to all those else who are listening tonight. And we're hoping to get your blessing to move forward, and just like we have previously.
Thank you very much, Curt and Leo, for joining us and your presentation. And we're looking forward to see to get the answers from you tonight, and as soon as possible. And
a special prayer night. Date night for everybody to be out here on this, right?
Yeah. And I will share the slides to the public, to the community. And before we close, any more questions for Curt and Leo?
Well, just want to say thank you so much. You guys did a great job. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this project.
Okay. So,
Can I ask a question?
please.
I see there's trees that you guys proposed. Are they gonna be on the front of alongside where the walkway, the sidewalk is in the front? Are those big trees?
Turn it on.
Leo, do you have the answer for the landscaping on the front line Colima?
Yeah, we do need to remove some trees, but we definitely will plant a new tree to substitute any of the tree removed.
What kind of trees are you planting there on the sidewalk? Because I noticed a lot of sidewalk that we planted trees, and now the trees are so big, it's lifting all the concrete up. So are you guys doing what type of trees are they?
We can work with the public work, for the stream improvement and either repave the sidewalk or the tree that's necessary. I don't have the exact answer, but if that.
And I will keep the session alive, so we can keep discussion. Anyone interested can discuss. Okay, David, you need any questions? Any comments?
Yeah. So this plaza.
I'm so sorry. Thank you just very brief for your invitation and to the meeting tonight. Appreciated hearing about the project. We're gonna get going. David and Teri definitely understand the COVID surge is definitely concerning. So we'll be there shortly on Monday. And then just so you guys know, we were invited by the Regional Chamber of Commerce, San Gabriel Valley, so that's how we heard about the project. So for those of you that will be there, David Koo will see you there. Briefly, not going to stay there the entire time, but really appreciated once again everyone here in the community for, again, giving us this warm welcome, and looking forward to continuing to working with everyone. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you.
So this project, this plaza will be managed by STC management.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know if he's going to manage it or he's going to own it.
Oh, he's going to manage it.
I don't know.
I'm not sure John is the owner. I don't think John is the owner, but I'm sure the STC is going to be managing the property.
Yeah.
David Koo, got a question for you. If you know this, that John Shu's going to be managing this situation, is that all you got on it? He didn't feed you any additional information?
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Dave?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You can or can't? I mean, is that all that John Shu told you about this property situation?
Say again. I can't hear you.
Is that all that John Shu told you about this property situation that's on Gale across from the Motel 6?
That's all I know. On Monday, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony at 10 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. We'll be there.
Well, I think RHCCC should have some. I mean, instead of me, besides me, we should have some board members to attend this event, because I'm not quite happy with that, because nobody informed RHCCC about this project.
I think that when the development came on, it was mentioned, it was presented to us, and it was held with a public hearing in Nogales High School. And I have to take to work for which timeline. So the project was known to us, and the property is within Roland Heights CSC boundary. And that is the Roland Heights project. Next door, further west, that two-story built-up concrete buildings are in the city industry, but that current development, whatever they call it, that you call it, is within Roland Heights CSD, and no question about it. And we have gave them the feedback when the Canadian firm was proposing it, and I think we can't commented the parking, we commented the height of the hotel, and we comment the separate garage at the time. So we asked them, they can let the underground garage all together instead of doing 3 separate underground garages. And all of those things were talked about, and then they were just sitting for selling the entitlement with the land. I think that's all I know about it. And
Remember, they were going to hold off on that second hotel that was by the railroad tracks? So that they were going to hold off on that, because we questioned, the sound and everything if you're right next to the railroad.
I believe one hotel was going to be a regular hotel and one was going to be like a long-term hotel up to 30 days.
Right.
Okay, Cary, if I can just make a couple comments, and with the best of intention, okay? You're talking about something that was in the past history situation. This thing is a current, and this hopefully with the new command of the RHCCC, it'll be a little more proactive. And if you would give a board report at each meeting, so what has the board been doing that you didn't know about this major development? I thought you guys had just seceded it over to the City of Industry. I don't want to get into that. There's all kinds of things. I'll do some more research. But have a board report of what goes going on and what you know or what you don't know, and then share with us and get current. I know that's a homework situation before you come to a meeting, but that's where we're going to develop as a community and so forth. And as you may already know, May of this year, I'm retiring from all this. Okay, so I just hope for the best that you'll take this up to the next level, and then these things aren't going to happen. And then on this development situation, Ted was more proactive, if you will, on getting what's going on with the county and telling us what the development and so forth. So hey, thank you very much for your time. It's been great, and hope things just cruise right along. And with that, I'm going to just get out of the picture.
Yeah, just tagging on to what Henry Wu was saying, when Parallax first presented the plans for that development, it was like a commercial center that was in the heart of community